and welcome back. Alright, so we are going in for another episode. I know, uploading a lot, but that is what it is, right? We got to get the starting zone done. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna do a build montage of the death route, obviously, because we got to finish off the little bits over somewhere. Oh, back here is where we got to finish it off. These 3 trees specifically. Probably just get these 3 big ones and these 2 small ones, and then we will call it good for now on the death route. We might come back through off camera, of course, and I'll finish up the rest. But after all, let's get that time lapse. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. So, back with some more lore. So, Deathroot doesn't actually occur naturally. Well, in the beginning, it didn't occur naturally. You see, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, specifically the one of famine, is the one that brought these plants and many others of unique origin into this very world. The unique thing, well, the unique liquid that it produces, this purple secretion that it produces, is not of this plane of existence, if you will. That's why it's so valuable and is actually only found in Deathroot, or, of course, the other plants, but the other plants do secrete a different liquid, each one having its own property. This one specifically can be used to bring about, let's say, poisonous accidents, but it can also be reverse engineered and actually act as a cure for various diseases that do pop up naturally that affect various things in the undergrowth. Alright, but we do got a new upgrade, and I'm thinking of putting this into some bling. Put in some bling. Alright, so next up, we did do that little finish up a couple trees with the Deathroot, but I think we should probably get started on trying to think exactly how I want this bandit outpost to go. Oh, I know. There's Deathroot right over there. Alright, so we're actually going to make this be like an older ruin type thing. It's going to be basically a ruin of an old dark mage, essentially is what it's going to be. Alright, without further ado, we're ready for another time lapse.
Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. This love is ill. I wish that it was different. Don't know what it is that made us so indifferent. We're drifting in the dark. Can we do better? Wish I could rewind back to the start. Can we do better than this? Better. You got me high and dropped me low.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in right here real quick. So, yes, we got the process of getting our little mage towers, our evil mage towers, I guess, from the old evil mage in, and we're gonna add in this little scaffolding that the bandits constructed roughly to help support their newly constructed bridge across. Well, apparently, they repaired it because they're using this as a little strategic point. We'll also put some other bandit buildings around here that are relatively reconstructed. But the reason why these bandits were able to make such a foothold right here is because, well, you see, these bandits aren't just ordinary bandits. They're smugglers, and typically they would smuggle in various supplies and other things that were very useful to the mage tower that they couldn't officially get, since the mages typically go to any means necessary, really, to get what they need to be able to do the experience that they require. Even going as far as the Death Root, constructing an entire barrier inside very close to their own walls just to get it very quickly, rather than going right next door to the swamp in order just to get Death Root. After all, they could very easily destroy the Death Roots, yet they don't for some reason. Not only that, there is sort of a conflict here in this city between the two mage towers. The city very much is split into two, typically divided in its politics, not always one, yet ruling under one ruler, therefore united by the king, but not in any other way. But the lore out of the way, the building that I'm trying to do is I just decided to try and get very roughly a straight line across, so that way I can line it up pretty well, and then I will go through and I'm going to bend it so it makes it look like kind of leaning into each other like so on each side, and have this kind of probably go down a bit in the middle in order so it's resting on there. Probably make this little sort this into a flat platform right here with a chest or two. Do the same for the other side, and then of course we're gonna need a way up. So actually I might end up making this tower into a staircase and having it be a sort of central staircase along with holding up both sides of the bridge. But that is for next episode. For this episode, as I said last episode, we are going to work on the barrier, and that'll probably be the last thing that we do on this episode is the barrier construction. But without further ado, shall we get into a time lapse?
Tell me something, it might just take the pain away. See, I've been thinking a million things I want to say. Now I'm looking in your eyes, but I'm wandering to your lips. See, I'm trying to keep it cool while I'm hovering for the kiss. 'Cause I've been needing you like old-fashioned orange slice, sweet like daiquiri with strawberry crushed ice. Know you like a margarita with the hot spice. Love the taste of paradise. No, it's never been the right time. Like we're holding back the storyline. And I'm waiting at the end of the night, thinking of you. Took your number from a friend, but I never call. I never call. I never call. I started writing a DM, didn't sleep at all. Not awake that night. And every time I go out, I'm looking Yeah. We're drifting in the dark. Can we do better? Wish I could rewind back to the start. Can we do better than this? Better. You got me high and drop me low. You got that something I can sip to let go.
All right, so I had a lot of fun doing that little build montage. I know it wasn't that much that I did. We got these towers to establish the... Why is that crooked? Why? I spent so much time doing these. Why is that crooked? How did I not notice that was crooked? Wow. Okay. Yes, I will fix it off camera, don't worry. But, yes, so we got our tower barriers established. Alright, so we do have the towers down, and I am curious as to what you guys think would be the best way to implement a barrier. Because the best thing that comes to my mind is like using these things, because they're blue and I could put them around. Obviously probably smaller, but I could probably put these going all the way around, hopefully, and have that act like a barrier, quote unquote. If you guys think that's a good idea, I could do that. But if you guys have a better idea, like perhaps I just leave it as is and just say it's an invisible barrier. I'm curious as to what you guys would think I should do to implement a barrier, because I don't see any good options really to like implement like kind of like a smoky type thing or like a transparent glass. I don't really see any glass that I could use. For those of you that have stuck to the end of this video still, thank you, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have an excellent day.